welcome once again. All Takes Valid, episode 91. As always, I go by Trill. Trayy, joined once again with SP21. So for today's episode, we're going to go ahead and continue on with our hot takes as far as the breakout players. We're going by division, team by team per division. Today, we are going to land in the NFC North. Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears. Oh, my. And then we're going to follow that up with UFC coverage. Training camp, joint practice fights in the NFL.
You might as well say UFC coverage.
I can't tell the difference. They're throwing haymakers out there. At least AB was. So we're gonna see. We get into that, and then the race that everybody had been patiently waiting on, Miss Shacari Richardson. We'll get into that too. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and start, like I said, the NFC North. So we know who the top dogs of that division were, which would have been the Green Bay Packers. So we're going to leave them for last. Let's go ahead and talk about the Detroit Lions, who currently are down 20-0 against Pittsburgh in this preseason game, third quarter, just starting. So anyways, I can't. I'm gonna need a second, honestly, because we talking about a breakout player for this. Whew, okay, but yeah, Spence, Detroit. Let's hear it.
TJ Hawkinson. After Kenny Galladay is left. Marvin Jones is left. They now have Cephas and all these fourth rounder wide receivers. And I think TJ is probably the only first round that's wide receiving wise that's still there. So he expect a lot more touches. Sure, they got Fields, the addition of Fields, but TJ Hawkins is about to have a year.
Who said Fields?
Yeah.
Detroit?
Not the other one. The other one. I know you're talking about. There's like another one. This is wrong. Because the one of this.
Oh, I know you're not talking about Justin Fields, so.
No, not Fields. Oh, no. I can't hear what you're saying. No. Fells, my bad. Not Fields, Fells.
Oh.
Darian Fells.
Got you.
My fault. Darian Fells, yes. But still, TJ Hawkinson.
Okay. So, as I said, currently watching the game in the background as we kind of doing this here. So, when we're looking at the first teams out there, the person who kept jumping out off the screen for me for the Detroit Lions would have been the receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna have to try to step up into that top receiver role. Obviously, like you said, TJ Hawkinson is there, but he's a tight end. So as far as actual receivers go, that would be my bet. Now, granted, Goff's not playing tonight, so it's probably even worse than what it's gonna be. Probably would have been a little bit better if Goff played, but I don't know how much of a breakout anybody's going to have in Detroit. Let's just say that this year. But since we have, we're just going through and we pick one from every team, that would be mine. It'd be St. Brown at receiver, but it's going to be a long year, Detroit fans. Long year. Okay, so moving right along to the team that actually has Justin Fields, the Chicago Bears. So, Spence, who would you have as the Bears breakout player?
Well, of course, it's the man that would probably take over at week 4. The man that they drafted to replace the whole Trubisky experience. And it's the man that, by God, he got blown out by the Bills today. I'm giving it Justin Fields.
Okay. Well, Andy Dalton is the starter.
Right.
I don't understand that, but he is the starter.
For now.
I do agree though. Well, it's only a matter of time before Justin Fields takes the field on Soldiers Field. So yeah, it's only a matter of time before he actually gets the nod and starts. So yeah, I think that would be a safe bet. They're only gonna go. You say week 4. Shit, I say week 3. He might finish the end of the game too.
Hang on, wait.
Y'all gotta remember how
hang on. We're gonna see, because I'm gonna see what they have week 3. So let me see correctly so I can get all right. So the first game, Jesus, there we go. All right, so their first game is the Rams, Bengals, Browns, and you saying week 3, so you're telling me he's coming in after the end of the Browns, and week 4 is the Lions.
Oh, I mean, I guess that made sense to feed the Lions to him, but no, I'm saying if Dalton's gonna look so bad that he gets benched and he's gonna come in and finish out.
Yeah, the third, you said week 3 and finish out. Yeah, that's against the Browns. That's what.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't finish that game, and it's a Justin Fields error. But anyways, Justin Fields, we were in agreement in regards to him.
Yes.
Now on to the Minnesota Vikings. The Kirk Cousins-led Vikings. So yeah, who do you have in regards to them as being their breakout player?
Well, I would say your little mysterious quarterback that you guys are very sad that he didn't go to, but I'm gonna say the man that should have got Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson.
I mean, after last year, is that really a breakout, though? I mean,
yeah, but I mean, let's say that he's going to apply himself more actively this year. Let's put it like that. Because, you got Adam Thielen and, you're trying to put yourself in the offense, but, try to not to put too much. But now it's like, all right, I'm here, game time.
I don't know, because the other thing about it is last year they didn't have tape on him. Now you got a full season tape on this guy. So
true.
It's hard to do it, twice. It's like first year is easy to catch people off guard. They've never, they might have heard about it, but yeah, you can't really game plan for it till you actually see it.
Right.
But now, yeah. But for me, I'm going with their draft pick, actually. Besides Darsaw, not the tackle, I'm going with their linebacker they took from North Carolina, Chad Surratt. Yeah, because that's one thing that kind of hurt the Vikings last year. They had a lot of injuries in regards to their defense and that whole D line and everything like that. So getting him coming in with linebacker core, I think that that definitely helped them out in that regard. So help that defense out. So that would be my pick for the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
And then, of course, the NFC Championship runner-ups. You know, they're used to doing that a lot. Like that's A-Rod's thing. He's almost he's almost type of guy. But anyways, yeah. So the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads. Spence.
You may have to come back to me on this one. Give me a second.
Okay. So, in regards to Green Bay Packers, I mean, they put the band back together. You know, there's a receiver that might have a breakout year now that he's back with Green Bay. But for me, I think it's honestly going to be guy that resigned last year, took less money to come back, that being Aaron Jones. Got banged up in the NFC Championship. I want to say he had 2 fumbles in that game. There were a lot of people, I've seen some fans, they were kind of critical of him, but overall, he had a good year. I feel like he's going to build on that this year. So my pick for the Green Bay Packers, obviously not saying Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams. That's too easy. So yeah, I would go with Aaron Jones in that regard.
Well, for the Packers, with them, I'm going with his backup, AJ Dillon. I feel like this one's going to be a year that he's going to prove that maybe to try to get to the one spot. You know, they drafted him high for a reason. I mean, yes, they re-signed Aaron Jones, but they drafted him for a reason, to make sure, just in case Aaron either gets banged up or hurt, that they can still have a rushing attack. So I feel like AJ Dillon is going to apply himself a lot more this year.
Okay. So, I mean, that wraps up the NFC North as that goes. So, on to the next topic, which again, we're talking some UFC fights. I mean, never mind. Joint practice fights.
Joint practices.
Yeah, they've been ending in a couple different escalations over this past week. So you had what was it, the Bucks and Titans? Yeah, I believe they had a joint practice, which led to a fight with Antonio Brown and a cornerback. I believe it started over. I guess it got heated over AB saying he was holding them or whatever the case was, which led to altercation and punches were thrown. So, yeah. So had that, and then another one we saw was happened to happen with the Giants getting into a fight with Cleveland Browns, which was cornerback Troy Hill and then Sterling Shepard from the Giants. So I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, and I mean, it's not something crazy. I mean, you gotta understand, you're probably a little more aggressive because you've been used to, besides the preseason game and stuff, you're used to training, going one-on-one against like your own teammates and stuff. So you finally, get some
pad it up, right?
Yeah, you pad it up and like this whole different team, and for certain people, they're going out there to try to prove something. Like we had Xavier Howard, he got burnt by Calvin Ridley, and that was going around the internet. granted, I mean, it's a practice rep, and how I look at it is when you have two elite, like Calvin Ridley's proving, and I mean that just shows you a glimpse of probably what he might end up doing this year. He might prove that he is. It was time to move on. It was okay to move on from Julio because guess what? We have a number one receiver still.
Right.
Calvin Ridley is that now, and I mean, if you're doing that to Xavier Howard, because not a lot of people do that to Xavier Howard. So, and granted, it's one play, but I'm just saying.
Right. No, you're right.
People are going out there and they're taking these like, yeah, they're trying to do the other person in. So I could see how some of these things are getting heated.
Throw it around, right?
Yeah. So it makes sense. Granted, it's not even a real game, but you still want to go out there and do somebody.
Right.
So Jefferson's already came out and said that he has on the calendar circle when they play the Rams. He wants Jalen Ramsey. That's the matchup he's waiting for. He can't wait to go out there and I guess do Jalen Ramsey in. Will it get to happen? Will we actually get to see it? Or will we get something like we saw with Devontae Adams versus Ramsey last year with the Packers and Rams, where he covered them, but they did a lot of rub routes and stuff like that. So Devontae scored, but they didn't man up, line up, and actually let's see who's the better, who's better. We didn't see it. We didn't see it in that sense. So hopefully with Justin Jefferson, he'll at least maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you got to do to win, right? So the Packers, they were smart for doing the motions and everything like that. You're trying to score, but I feel like Justin Jefferson going to tell the coach at least once, like, I can beat this guy. They call it ISO. Let me and him one-on-one, and we'll see. But yeah, I understand why. I can see why some of these fights have been. These guys are competitors, man. They're some of the best in the world, and yeah, and then especially like you're coming into their house, depending on where you guys are, where the joint practices are taking place. You're not trying to have them guys outdo you, and yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Spence.
It's just that I'm like, man, I get it. We didn't have preseason. I get it. You guys like, man, football is coming back. Let's just get a good, run through and everything. Nah, y'all mad for some reason. Why y'all mad for some reason? Why y'all mad? It's like there's no scoreboard. There's no fans. There's none. You're not even on live television. So like, if people see it, they're either on their phones or they're streaming. There's no way other people will see. So I'm trying to figure out why everybody's so tight. Why everybody's fighting. I get it. We want it competitive, but chill out. We don't even. Heck, the regular season didn't even have started yet.
Right.
We don't even got this yet. We're still in preseason. Guys. And we're trying to knock each other's head off. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just the hype of football is back, or the energy they had, or people just some people try and embarrass other people, or I don't know. But whatever it is, let's just chill out for a second. Let's just chill out. Now, with that said, I have a question. Because a lot of people's like, how Bruce Arians like really tight on the whole like AB situation. Do you think this is it for him, or they're like, all right, let's don't do that again?
I honestly think this is a isolated incident, and I mean, granted, it's a bigger story if only AB was the only person, but as we've seen this happen around the league, pretty much different teams getting into it, and these are just the ones that got documented, or because I mean, in Steelers camp, I've been following, and a rookie offensive lineman. He's real aggressive, and he's gotten into a couple fights with some of his own teammates. So like that stuff happens in practices and stuff like that. It's nothing new. I don't know if you remember the joint practice way back in the day with
you talking about D-Hop?
and D-Hop. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to touch him. He didn't even have to touch him, but you see how that went. It started off with some trash talk on the sideline.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were about to get into it. People broke him up, and then D-Hop broke him down. And yeah, I think that's the last we've seen of D-Hop, honestly. Like, I don't remember seeing him after that. So
I don't remember seeing him after that, to be honest with you either.
But yeah, so I think like you said, yeah, don't let it happen again type of thing, but I don't think it's glaring that serious to where, yeah, he's done. We're done with Antonio Brown.
Gotcha.
That's what we saw in the Super Bowl. Besides Gronk, he was the only receiver that scored. And I mean, they have a lot of receivers, your Mike Evans, your Chris Godwins, but AB was the one who got in the end zone. So just saying. But on to what will be more or less the final topic here. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember a young lady by the name of Shacari Richardson, who around time of Olympics, there was a lot of controversy because she tested positive for marijuana, and she was not going to be she was going to be suspended. She was not going to be able to compete at the Olympics, in which there was a lot of eyebrows raised, a lot of people speculating. There was a lot of, oh, well, they just know she was going to go in there and, sweep it. And then a lot of people were kind of like, nah, relax. It's Jamaica's different. But there were still people that are saying, though, no, she would have smoked them, da. Cool. So fast forward, Olympics happens. Jamaica runs through that. Cool. But there's still going to be the people that say, well, she didn't get the race, so that's the only reason they won. Well, Shacari Richardson, in them, there was a race that took place along with the same Jamaicans that were, part of the Olympic Games. And yes, she got smoked. Came in 9th place. So yeah, it was pretty humbling. Now, granted, she's very young. She'll definitely be back. I think a lot of it just has to do with, honestly, like, just her form is not there all the way yet. Like some of the people she was going to get up against, like, I can't remember her name, but the girl who actually won, her form is crazy. Like, just the way she explodes out as soon as the race is, it was no way that she was going to lose at all. Right. Like, it was just no way she was going to lose. Didn't matter who it is. But the crazy thing, the key thing is, I look at it as like, yeah, she lost to other, like, elite athletes. So people that are making memes and clowning her now, all of a sudden, she'll still smoke y'all ass. Like, that's one thing you got to remember. Like, you all got to chill. Like, the memes are funny and stuff, but let's be honest here. Like,
right.
It's a little different. She competing against some of the best in the world.
Right.
The majority of y'all couldn't beat some some average Joes. So, like,
right.
Y'all gotta relax. Y'all gotta relax on the hate and everything like that. Like I said, she's still young, but yeah. And then, I mean, it's not making an excuse, which I know a lot of people were kind of mad about her post interview too, in which she kind of tried to make the same as she tried to kind of make excuse, I guess, which I was gonna say the same thing, but I guess just comes off different with her saying it. But you know, she did have a month off compared to them, so that probably does have to factor in when you haven't been running, or they obviously were training because they were getting ready for the Olympics and everything. So she had to sit for a month because of the suspension and everything. So that probably played some factor into it. Maybe she would not have finished ninth, but just the way some of them came out the gates, like she wasn't gonna win regardless. But
yeah,
it's neither here nor there. But yeah, humble pie though. Sometimes you gotta have some.
Jamaica, man, they're different. They are different. Just letting you know. But yeah, it was just, you could tell like she wasn't really prepared for this. Like you said, off the suspension, so probably really didn't do anything. Really just probably trying to get our minds together. Probably wasn't thinking about training or anything like that. So yeah, but with all that saying, yeah, don't get it twisted. Yeah, she may get a ninth place, but she'll still beat you.
Right.
So, yeah, everybody has to lose once.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a learning experience. Like I said, she's young enough. She'll be able to bounce back. So I'm not tripping on that. But yeah. But that pretty much wraps up in regards to that would have been the final topic for tonight. Unless you had you got any shout outs or anything else, Spence?
Well, the best in the world is back, so I'm gonna just leave it at
that. All right. So more or less you've heard what we had to say. You can agree or you can disagree. But at the end of the day, all takes are valid. All right, Spence.
Yes, sir.